Hey guys, it's Robin, R Silent Crafts, and welcome to my craft room. Today I want to discuss a little bit about Patreon, and since I'm going to be chit-chatting with you, I brought my snowman back out. But before we get started, some of you that are very observant are going to notice that I have my purple plastic hoop back on. Purple plastic hoop. That was easy, right? And I was using this fun pressure whatever hoop, but when I went to take it out today, when it's in its little plastic hoop like this, you squeeze this in, you release it, and when I pulled it out, the hoop broke. And because of the amount of tension that's going to be on this, there's no way that I'm going to be able to glue that and still use it. So I was very sad and disappointed. But in the grand scheme of things, it's not that big of a deal. I'm just going to go to Amazon and order some new ones. I tried using it even though it has this big, almost 2-inch gap in it. But it really needs to have some tension in it like this. Spring tension hoop, that's what it's called. So unfortunately, yeah, I'm back to my thick old plastic hoop here. But that's okay because it fits in the stand and we're just chit-chatting and it'll be fine. I'm going to put my snowman away until those new hoops come because it just makes it so much... It's a lot easier. It's a lot more relaxing. It's easier on the hand. It's less weight, less stress and all that. So whatever. But today, I want to talk to you guys about Patreon. First, I want to say thank you so much to everyone who has joined my Patreon page. You guys are awesome and amazing to support me like this. By joining me over on Patreon and becoming a Patreon, you're helping me to continue making these YouTube videos, to buy more supplies, to show you more projects, to buy patterns and find different things, and that I can just keep going and doing this. So I really appreciate anyone who's joined me over there. And I still appreciate anyone who even hangs out with me over there who's not able to afford or who just doesn't want to join Patreon and make that monthly payment. Now what I wanted to talk about with Patreon, we're coming up to the first of the month and your first monthly payment is going to be coming out. Now one of my patrons kindly reminded me that there's a different system when you're working over on Patreon. When they're doing a billing, first of all they bill on the first of the month. So depending on when you join, you're still not going to pay until the first of the month. I believe everyone has been able to still see what they need to see over there. Correct me if I'm wrong. Anyone who's at the different tiers, are you still getting access to all the things you're supposed to? So you're going to actually become a member as of the 1st of February. So everyone who's joined ahead of time, while you are members, I believe your actual join date might actually be the 1st of February. I'm not real sure, but I don't think that's going to matter to anything really with the way I have it set up. What is going to matter and what could affect you is the payment system. Now Patreon uses a UK-based billing system service. And that's fine. When you're over in the UK, you guys, you're making your payments. Everything's great. You all know about the VAT system, which is similar to almost like a sales tax here, where you have a certain percentage you have to pay on top of whatever it is that you're purchasing and paying for. But what could happen in other countries is ever since 9/11, certain institutions, certain banks, certain countries, they have tightened down security. And a lot of times they're not willing, some U.S. banks and such are not willing to make a payment through a UK billing service. I don't think it's an actual maybe bank or something. It's just a service that collects payments for you and deposits it into your bank account or your PayPal or however it's all set up. Every company has things that are differently. But over on Patreon, some people are having a problem where if the bank that you chose to make your payments out of does not allow you to make a payment to a UK-based billing service, then the payment is not going through. And Patreon is kicking you off of my page, my site. Not off of Patreon completely, but you're no longer a paid member over on my community group there, which means you'll no longer have access to whatever it is, whatever tier you've chosen. Now, what's happened in a lot of Patreon pages is people didn't realize that that was happening, and they thought that the person like myself that owns or runs the page has decided that they don't want them as a patron and has kicked them off for something, like maybe if they did something wrong. But I want you guys to know that none of you have done anything wrong. If for some reason your payment doesn't go through, it's not me kicking you out and trying to block you from being over on Patreon with me. I want anyone who wants to come over and hang out with us to please come over and hang out with us, whether it's the free content or you want to join one of my tiers and become one of my patrons. There are other ways that you can pay. I believe, as far as I've seen, PayPal has not had a problem because PayPal is worldwide. And anytime that I've used it to make, when I become a patron on other Patreon pages, I've used my PayPal account and I've never had any problems. But just some certain banks will give you a bit of problem and they won't let the payment go through, and they're just trying to protect you to make sure that there's no other scam artists or anything that are trying to get money from you. So that's why they refuse to allow it to go through a UK billing service. So if you do have that problem, there are other options. I know you can pay by bank, you can pay by credit card, and you can pay by PayPal. And other than those three, I'm not really sure. But if you need any help, just let me know if you're having a problem and I'll do some research and see if I can find the answer. And it might just come down to, if you want to be a member for anyone over on Patreon and you want to become a patron for any of the groups, then any artists over there, then you might have to do it through PayPal. And going through PayPal is a really good. I kind of prefer PayPal for a lot of things. That's how I do a lot of my purchases online, because it's a secure site and they have a nice dispute center. So if something happens and someone gets a hold of your PayPal account or your PayPal credit card or debit card or something, you can always dispute the amount. And if you can prove that it's not you, which really is usually pretty easy to do, then they go ahead and refund you your money. If you have money in your PayPal account, you don't even have to link it to an actual bank. You can just have some money set aside into that PayPal account. Let's say you know on the 1st that you joined the $5 tier. Then you can just make sure you have $5 or $7 in your PayPal before the 1st. So when Patreon goes and takes that payment out, then it'll just come out and you'll have that money there. And if it's not linked to your bank account, then anyone who does get into your PayPal account won't be able to get into your regular bank account. And that's pretty much all I just wanted to talk about today, with the 1st coming up right around the corner in just a couple of days. That I wanted to make sure that if you do have a problem with making your monthly bill payment for Patreon, that you get bumped out for any reason, it's not me. I love all of you guys and I would never bump anyone out. So as I said, if you have any problems, please just go ahead and send me an email. My email is rsislandcrafts@gmail.com, and it's down below in the description box. I try to make sure I have it there for every video. And once again, thank you everyone for hanging out with me over on Patreon. It's a really new site for me. I've just started it up, as you know, in January, and I'm hoping, I know as time grows that it's going to become a bigger and bigger thing for me, and that there'll be more variety of content, and we're going to start building it as a community, because that community is there for you just as much as it is for me, and I want to make sure you guys are seeing the things you want to see. So thank you for listening to me ramble on today. And at least now I know I've gotten a few stitches on my snowman this week, because I have not touched him at all. So until we chat again, bye.